Dr. Chan, what's the difference between Asian and American relationship?
Based on what I've seen and what I've read, there are like two major differences. One of which Asian relationships seem to be defined by what people can really do for each other. There's really a lack of two separate individuals in one relationship. It's more.
But I thought people should be merged in a relationship while you still want two independent individuals.
Well, see, I think that's the difference about how Asian and Americans define relationships. Asian people believe, well, I mean, this is overgeneralization, of course, but in my experience with Asian people, they feel like two people should become one person. Read each other's mind, anticipate each other's needs, and so on and so forth. The problem with that, the issue that I see, is that they are two separate people. They aren't one single person. And to expect that the other person can always anticipate your needs and make you feel better or do the right thing is unrealistic, because they're another person.
But if one person really loves the other person, then that person will try to merge with the other one, right?
So again, earlier we defined what love can be. If you define love as in trying to make two people into one person, then yes, that is what we call in love, meaning that it's not a realistic view of what a relationship can be, in my opinion, because again, there's always going to be, when you have two separate people, each person's going to have their own way of thinking, and sometimes you're going to be in sync with the other person, sometimes you're not going to be in sync, and it feels like you're in love when two people are on the same wavelength. But that can't last forever, because those people again aren't the same person. So when it becomes to more mature love is when you can love them when they don't even agree with you.
So you're saying the Asian style of relationship is not mature by your definition?
It's a different form of love, I would say. Mature, not mature is the wrong way to put it. It's just the way that when I've experienced Asian relationships, we're raised in a different society where there's a lot of Asian people, and we're raised in a collectivistic society, meaning you have to depend on one another to know their roles, to function in harmony. So the harmony is more important than self-sufficiency or your own needs. Whereas in American society, it's more about the individual and expressing your own needs, even though it may not agree with the other person.
So suppose I date an American, what should I expect? I would expect that he takes care of himself and I take care of myself. Then what kind of relationship is that?
That's a good question. It would vary depending on how people identify with either Asian or American traditional values. So the best way to answer that is to ask your partner, American partner, how they view relationships, or even when you go through the relationships, when you feel like the person doesn't understand you, do you feel like you have to say something? Is it okay to be upset? So on and so forth.
But then I won't feel enough. I feel like we're not connected.
Well, if you're looking for that type of in-love relationship, then yeah, I think that would be a lot of source of conflict. I think that's what happens with a lot of interracial couples when going with American versus Chinese, whatever it may be. The difference of expectations of relationships clash. So that's where a lot of conflict lies in, different expectations of relationships, and that's how things get discovered. And then if you can overcome your differences and still respect your differences, then you can have a very solid relationship.
So you're saying that the American type of relationship is that each person is an individual and you are increasing your happiness by getting along with the other person.
Yeah, you could put it that way. Again, it's more like, this is, we're making overgeneralizations, but in more American relationships, it's two individuals. There's like one person, and there's one person, and then there's the relationship. So there's three components. Whereas I think more Asian, there's two people that become one, and that one is the whole relationship.
Yes.